Tonight on News Prime, 15 killed in fresh attack on Benue community. In business, federal government announces another 2.8 billion naira Google support to advance AI talent development in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Spain races to save victims as floods kill 95. And in sport, Real Madrid match against Valencia postponed due to deadly floods. Hello and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world in News Prime on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyag Mofwebe. We would love to remind all of our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and free to air on Nigecomsat. Tonight, let's begin from Benue State, where we're told at least 15 people have reportedly been killed, with many missing in an attack by armed invaders on some villages in Logo local government area of the state. Some reports claim that the first strike by the infiltrators happened on Wednesday, while a simultaneous one was carried out in the early hours of today in about 5 communities in the area. The villagers stated that the attackers came in large number and were heavily armed. The police public relations officer in the state, SP Catherine Anene, confirmed the latest attack but stated that details were still sketchy. 10 persons have been killed while 7 others were injured in a building collapse in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. A statement from Oyo State's Fire Service Agency disclosed that the incident happened at 2 a.m. in Jagede or Luloye area, Ibadan, in Ona-Ara local government area of the state. The statement says while 10 persons have been recovered from the debris, 7 other persons were rescued alive, stating that rescue efforts were reported to be ongoing. The Nigerian Senate has adjourned plenary till November 19, 2024. President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, made the announcement during plenary. Edikon Michael has details.
President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, said the 2 weeks will afford the relevant committees to carry out oversight functions on ongoing projects to determine the level of performance of 2024 capital budget. He noted that oversight is part of the constitutional obligation of National Assembly to the Nigerian people and requested for cooperation from all ministries, departments, and agencies to ensure the success of the oversight.
The Senate is hereby adjourned to the 19th day of November 2024 at 11 a.m. prompt.
The lawmakers are gearing up to receive the medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. The framework and strategy paper are parameters on which budgets are predicted. President Bola Tinubu is expected to present the 2025 budget proposal to a joint session of the National Assembly soon. Edikan Michael for Global TV News.
Well, thank you, Edikan. The federal government has unveiled details of the 63 kilometers axis of Ondo State in the ongoing construction of the Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway. Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, revealed the specifications of the project during a town hall meeting with stakeholders held at Government House in Akure, the state capital. Global Television's Kikelemo Okere has details for us.
The Minister of Works, Senator Dave Umahi, highlighted the federal government's commitment to infrastructure as a critical national investment, saying work will soon begin on the Ondo State axis of the Coastal Highway project. The minister commended Governor Lucky Orimisan Ayedatiwa for his efforts towards making the project a reality in the state. He stressed that the project will not be politically driven, but rather serve as a practical improvement to the socio-economic welfare of the people.
Look at the Trans-Hara. It is connected. It's one of the spurs of the Lagos-Calabar. Sokoto Badagry, one of the spurs. The 3 legacy projects are connected together. And then the 4th one is also connected, which is Akwanga, Jos, Bauchi, Gombe. This project should be fixed in 14 months. If they are not fixed, I take responsibility for it. But there are things we are doing to ensure that it's no longer business as usual.
In his remark, Governor Aiyedatiwa, who thanked the minister for the stakeholders' engagement, emphasized the transformative impact of the project. The governor says the expansive highway will connect several states as it aims to bridge the western and southeastern region of Nigeria, facilitating improved cross-country connectivity and strengthening trade relations. Governor Aiyedatiwa assures stakeholders that the project will not merely be left to contractors, but will be diligently monitored to ensure effective utilization and sustained progress.
It is not a political project, like the minister said, because that project has started at the Lagos axis and also at the Calabar axis. It's a reality. The president wants to actually connect the whole of Nigeria together for ease of movement and ease of doing business.
Governor Aiyedatiwa also disclosed that the state government is partnering with the federal government on the protection and the restoration of the project at Ayetoro in Ilaje local government area.
No community will be overrun by the road, and if you look closely, you will see that some of the communities that were mentioned, that 4 kilometers away from the road, the huge economic benefit cannot be overemphasized. But the truth is, this project is a reality.
The flag off of the 63 segment of Lagos-Calabar Coastal Highway is to connect all Niger Delta roads in the country together, as well as enhance the ease of doing business in the country. From the government house in Akure, the Ondo State capital, Kikelomo Okeri, Global Television News.
Well, thank you, Kikelomo, reporting from Akure, Ondo State capital right there. Let's turn to other stories tonight. Indications from the Senate suggest that the ad hoc committee set up by the upper chamber to investigate an alleged economic sabotage in the Nigerian oil and gas industry has not abandoned the probe, as recently reported by some media outlets. This came as the chairman of the committee and leader of the Senate, Michael Bamidele, presented a motion at plenary to rescind the earlier decision on the matter. Chairman of the committee and leader of the Senate, Michael Bamidele, and the deputy president of the Senate, Senator Jibrin Barau, through their motion, explained that the House of Representatives has also set up a similar ad hoc committee to investigate the same issue. They noted that it is imperative for both the red and the green chambers to work together in probing the issue of sabotage in the oil and gas industry.
The Senate equally observes that there is need for the ad hoc committees of the two chambers to work jointly to avoid duplication and clash in the discharge of their assignment. Accordingly, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, the Senate resolves to, 1, recapture the title of the ad hoc committee to National Assembly Joint Ad hoc Committee to investigate alleged economic sabotage in the Nigerian petroleum industry.
The resolution of the Senate be communicated to the House of Representatives, following which the joint ad hoc committee will be inaugurated by the presiding officers of both chambers. Those in favor of this prayer, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it.
After the inauguration of the joint ad hoc committee, it is expected that the investigation into the alleged economic sabotage in the petroleum industry kickstarts immediately. Uyi Agmofwe. The National Economic Council has recommended the withdrawal of the tax reforms bill already at the National Assembly. The council, headed by Vice President Kashif Shettima, has governors as members. Speaking to State House correspondents after the council's meeting today, Governor Seyi Makinde of Oyo State says following the controversies that arose as a result of the bills, the council has decided to withdraw them so that stakeholders could be carried along. Arising from the meeting, the Northern Governors Forum, chaired by Governor Inuwa Yahya of Gombe State, had announced rejection of the derivation-based model for value-added tax distribution in the new tax bills. And now back to legislative matters. The Nigerian Senate has stressed the need to curtail the rising cases of drug abuse, especially amongst young people in the country. At a one-day national event on the need to include parents in the fight against drug abuse and reckless behaviors, the Senate expressed worries over the lack of quick intervention that may lead to socio-economic dislocation of the country's youth population. Here is Queen Agaba's report.
Representing the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, at the event organized by the Joint Committee on Drugs and Narcotics in collaboration with the National Association of Nigerian Drug Monitoring, the Deputy Senate Leader, Lola Ashiru, says the time to fight the problem is now. Senator Ashiru noted that drug abuse fuels crime rate and hinders attainment of quality education, adding that the nation's problems can be fixed at home with parents playing a major role in the fight against the menace.
It's an issue, but to spark a movement and awakening to the silent epidemic of drug abuse that threatens the fabric of our society. The gathering is not just an event, it is a clearing call for parents, communities, and leaders to unite and take a resolute stand against this stand that seeks to wash away the dreams of our youth.
The convener of the event, Ambassador Christabel Okoye, stressed the need for parents to positively mold the characters of their children at an early life stage. She decried the celebration of drugs in movies and music videos, adding that valuable lives have been lost as a result of such impressions.
Nigeria has become a negative world among the Committee of Nations. The reason we always ask for your support to carry out this sensitization and empowerment. You sensitize them, you also empower them to get something doing, to be busy. Drug abuse has become shame to our nation. So with this, I want everyone to please find this fight from your end.
The crisis of drug addiction among the country's youth is not just a problem, but needs urgent attention. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reported.
Well, thank you, Queen. In the meantime, the Senate has confirmed the nomination of Bianca Odumegu Ojukwu as Substantive Minister of State Foreign Affairs. The Red Chamber also confirmed Dr. Jumoke Oduwole as Minister of Industry, Trade and Development, Dr. Nentawe Iwada as Minister of Humanitarian Affairs and Poverty Reduction, as well as Muhammadu Dengadi as Minister of Labor and Employment, among others. The House of Representatives has mandated its Committee on Aid, Loans and Debt Management to carry out a comprehensive audit and oversight of all loans obtained by the federal and state governments since the inception of the current democratic dispensation, which stood at 1.167 trillion naira. The committee is set to report within 4 weeks for further legislative action. This followed the adoption of a motion moved by Lanre Okunlola at plenary. Presenting the motion, he quoted the data recently released by the Debt Management Office as of March 31, 2024 on Nigeria's public debt profile, which includes both external and domestic debt. The national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Dr. Abdullahi Ganduje, has urged Edo Governor-elect Senator Monday Okpebholo to focus on governance and quit trying to pick a quarrel with the outgoing governor, Godwin Obaseki. Ganduje made the appeal when he received a delegation of Edo APC led by a former legislator on a thank you visit. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, had declared the senator as the winner of the keenly contested poll. 5 people have reportedly died under questionable circumstances at Afasio Community, Uzaire, Esako West local government area of Edo State. The incident allegedly occurred last week when 5 individuals, including 4 boys and a girl, were found dead in a room. Reports gathered say the bodies were discovered by family members whom, after noticing they had not come out of the room, decided to check on them and found them lifeless. The Nigerian Immigration Service has announced the launch of a phased contactless passport renewal system set to begin in Canada on November 1, 2024. The Nigerian Immigration Service shared the announcement through a video posted on its official X account, stating that the service, following the rollout in Canada, will expand to the United States, United Kingdom, and Italy on November 15, and by December 1, it will be available in Nigeria and other global locations. The Nigeria Governors Forum has expressed empathy for Nigerians, acknowledging the severe economic challenges in the country while voicing optimism that President Bola Tinubu's reforms will soon yield positive results. Imo State Governor and Chairman of the Progressive Governors Forum, Senator Hope Uzodimma, disclosed these while reading the communique issued at the end of the forum's meeting. Let's join Sharon Ajay for details.
The chairman of the Progressives Governors Forum and the Imo State Governor, Hope Uzodimma, outlined the governor's position during a media briefing following the NGF meeting in Abuja. Some of the updates include the National Crude and Condensate Production Profile, the Production War Room Initiative, and ongoing security efforts to combat illegal connections and vandalism. He noted that governors acknowledge the importance of securing the nation's energy resources and improving the efficiency and resilience of the NNPCL's production and supply chain, as well as to ameliorate the sufferings of Nigerians.
We sympathize with our people. We know that they are hardship in the country. We also appreciate the reforms carried out by the president. Our prayer is that as soon as possible, that the relief should come so that we begin to leverage the benefits of the reforms and then have a better Nigeria.
Other issues highlighted while reading the communique include NGF partnership with African Medical Center of Excellence aimed at improving healthcare outcomes and accessibility for all Nigerians, collaboration with the DSS to safeguard the nations, amongst others. Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
Governor Basio has sought to advance educational projects and foster partnership to enhance tertiary education in Cross River State. He made this known when he paid an official visit to the Tertiary Education Trust Fund, TED Fund headquarters in Abuja. Again, Queen Agaba has details.
During the visit, Governor Otu engaged in discussions with TED Fund executives to explore funding opportunities for ongoing and upcoming projects within the state's tertiary institutions. The governor emphasized the importance of infrastructural development and academic support, highlighting the state's commitment to creating an environment where students and educators alike can thrive.
If we can train our people, because if you check the indices now, it looks like probably because of exchange rate, this is an emerging economy and this is where to go. And this is going to be the next point. Like at the time it moved to India, I think gradually is outsourcing, it's going to move to Nigeria.
TED Fund's Executive Secretary, Mr. Sonny Echono, expressed enthusiasm about the governor's vision and reaffirmed dedication to supporting initiatives that align with TED Fund's mission.
Mr. President gave us a task to ensure that every Nigerian child graduating from our tertiary institutions must have proficiency in ICT and technology skills, in addition to whatever course that they will study in the university. And we have been taking steps towards this, especially by promoting various digital resources that we want to make available to students in our beneficiary institutions.
The outcomes of the meeting are expected to lay the groundwork for a series of developmental initiatives that will benefit the state's educational landscape for years to come. For Global Television, Queen Agaba reporting.
From Queen's Report, we take a quick break here, reminding you that you're watching the live broadcast of the Global News Prime tonight, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja, with Uyag Mofwebe. When the news returns shortly, federal government announces another 2.8 billion naira Google support to advance artificial intelligence talent development in the country. Details of this and more for you, including foreign and sports. Do stay with us. And now time to talk business. The Federal Ministry of Communications, Innovation and Digital Economy has announced a fresh 2.8 billion naira support from Google to accelerate artificial intelligence talent development across Nigeria. The support, which is provided as a grant from google.org to Data Science Nigeria, will bolster the ministry's ongoing AI-driven initiatives to upskill youth and under as well as unemployed Nigerians with a focus on AI skill development and education. The latest support followed a 100 million naira commitment from Google to the National Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics AI Fund, which was announced in September. Akwa Ibom State government has initiated the construction of an 18-story Ibom Towers in Victoria Island, Lagos. This is part of its commitment to economic diversification, as the project, expected to be completed within 24 months, is aimed at bolstering revenue, creating jobs for both Akwa Ibom and Lagos, as well as supporting economic growth by attracting investments. On the foreign scene now, senior United States officials plan to meet their Israeli counterparts to discuss a potential deal to end the conflict in Lebanon and secure Israel's northern border against Hezbollah attacks. The U.S. visit comes as the Palestinian militant group Hamas rejected separate truce proposals for the fighting in Gaza, where Israel strikes overnight. Less than a week before the U.S. presidential election, Washington's envoys Amos Hochstein and Brett McGurk were expected in Israel. Rescuers have been in a race to find survivors and victims of once-in-a-generation floods in Spain that killed at least 95 people and left towns submerged in a muddy deluge with overturned cars scattered in the streets. Meanwhile, European and Spanish flags have been flown at half-mast at European Union buildings in Brussels and Strasbourg following the deadly floods in the Spanish city of Valencia. And now let's get some interesting information from the ever-exciting world of sports. Real Madrid's away match with Valencia in La Liga this weekend has been postponed by the Spanish Football Federation due to floods that have killed more than 95 people. Villarreal's home match against Rayo Valenciano was also suspended after the devastating flash floods in eastern Spain. La Liga asked the Spanish Football Federation to postpone Valencia and Villarreal's matches on Saturday, as well as 3 second division games involving teams from the affected areas. Manchester United has finalized an agreement with Sporting Lisbon to appoint 39-year-old Ruben Amorim as the club's new head coach, with his tenure set to begin after the November international break. The agreement comes shortly after United dismissed Erik ten Hag, who had been in charge for 2.5 years. According to Sports Scene reports, United's leadership team, including Chief Executive Omar Berrada and Sporting Director Dan Ashworth, traveled to Lisbon to finalize terms with Sporting. And now, as we end News Prime on Global Television tonight, here is a quick look at some of our big stories. 15 people have been killed in fresh attack on Benue community. In business, the federal government has announced another 2.8 billion naira Google support to advance AI talent development in the country. On the foreign scene, Spain has ramped up efforts to save victims as floods kill 95. And in sport, we told you Real Madrid match against Valencia has been postponed due to the floods. And that's a wrap on News Prime here on Global Television. We came to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We'd love to remind you that Global Television is on DSTV, channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can also find us on free-to-air on Nightcom Stars. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using the handle at Global TVNG and other handles as you now see your screen. I'm Uyag Mofogwe saying a very big thank you to you for watching on behalf of the entire production team. Good night.